live.
Awesome.
Hey, everybody. This Will, Guitar Streaming 352. How's it going? I have a very, very, very special guest today, and it is my honor and my privilege, and just a very special moment in this guitarist's life to have a very inspirational guest. Her name, and we all know her as Chicken Guitars. How you doing, Chick?
Doing awesome. How's it going? Thank you for having
Phenomenal.
me. Great.
Phenomenal. Oh, it's my pleasure. Thank you so very much for being here. And thank you so very much for giving me your time. And I truly, I appreciate everything that you're doing. And I want to support everything that you're doing because musically, because your heart and your passion and your soul are in this. And I am totally in supportive totally in supportive of this. And I'm thankful that you came, and I'm thankful that you're here, and I'm thankful that you're going to get to be a part of the wacky world of Guitar Streaming 352.
Awesome. It's an honor. It's an honor. Anything I could do. I don't really know your channel or a lot about you. So when you asked me, I was like, you know what? This is an opportunity to bring some of my subscribers over. This community is like the best to be a part of, and everybody supports one another. So anything to help out and just to get to know you too, because, don't really know much about you. We got to see, was it Rosie yesterday on your stream with Harmony? So, I mean, you've got a gorgeous guitar.
Well, I got something. I There's a piece of music that I'm working on, and before I play, um, I'll get to it. I promise.
All right.
I have something very special,
No
and
pressure.
it no pressure. It's all good. But first, I need to do a few things,
Okay.
and that would be you're watching Guitar Streaming 352 live with Chicken Guitars. If you like my content, please follow my social links in the description box below. Share my stream and my links with everyone that you know so today we can make a positive difference in someone's life. And as I continue, please do not forget to follow Chicken Guitars links in the description box below. Connect with Chicken Guitars. Connect with them. And most importantly, and I'll say this again, stay inspired. So,
Definitely.
we have a lot to chat about. We have some music to share. We have some wonderful, wonderful, wonderful things. And I personally would really like to know how is it that you juggle your passion for music, your love and passion that is your heart and soul. How is it that you juggle all of this with being a wife and a stay-at-home mom, a very happy, happy mom? How do you do that, hon? I mean, the chicken guitars.
It's,
Sorry.
it's the way to stay sane. You've gotta have something to be passionate about, or otherwise what's life worth? So, um the thing is, this is the only thing I do outside of being a wife and a mom and taking care of a household and a business. It's just, this is me. This is my one thing. And if I can't have this, then, life isn't going to be too great. And it's really not so much a juggle. I prioritize family comes first. taking care of business, being an adult, unfortunately, comes first. Um, taking care of responsibilities. And then what you guys see is me in my downtime between, folding a load of laundry or picking up my daughter from school. I'll do a quick video. I'll come down here and jam. Or end of the day, this is how I come. I come down here and unwind. And if I can turn that camera on and inspire someone to do the same that day, then that's great, because right now I'm in what a lot of people call their lost years when they're a guitarist. When they start a family and they're taking care of getting settled down and becoming an adult in the real world. A lot of people lose the opportunity to play and make time
Yeah.
for it. So this is how I'm making time for it. I get a lot of flack for not being a gigging musician or putting myself out there, but hey, I've got an audience of like 830 of you to
More
play to
time
every
now.
night without leaving my house or my basement. Why not?
Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. I can't tell you the importance. I think, okay, so my well, I'm trying to put into words. See, that's the thing with being a guitarist and being a songwriter. I talk with these, and it's hard for me sometimes to put into words what I need to put into words to convey my message across.
Exactly.
So I need to work on that. But
Music is great. Music is a great medium for communication, and
beautiful.
you can emote so many more emotions through a sound than you can with the English language. It's very limiting. As many words as we have, it's very hard to sometimes put something into feelings, but music can do that, and that's just such an awesome feeling.
Absolutely. Absolutely. The well, before I say what I was going to say, um, and thank you for your understanding. Thank you for your patience.
Of course.
Um, what about you? Tell me, what first got you interested in guitar?
Well, as the story goes, I was like in pre-K, I think, in Sunday school, and a man came in with his guitar case, acoustic guitar, opened it up, and he came to just play Christmas songs for us, some Christmas hymns and stuff. And at the time, I was interested in singing, and I remember thinking, I wish I had a radio that only played the music and not the words, so I could hear myself singing. So I was always looking for a way to accompany myself, and this guy got up there, and I put two and two together that he wasn't playing the melody. He wasn't playing the words. He was just accompanying himself with chords, strumming this guitar. And the guitar to me was just this magical thing after that. And I was like, that's what I need. That's what I'm missing. That's how I can accompany myself and write songs and make music and sing without having to sing over, some recorded vocal on a tape. So that
Yes.
that really opened my eyes, and from there I was just anytime there was an instrument in the room, like I would get that twitch, like I want to go touch it. I want to. Can I go play that piano? Am I gonna get in trouble if I go tap on that piano? If I pick that guitar up, like I was that kid who's like couldn't stay away from it.
Well, you know, um, along the same lines as that question, I'll tell you the thing that did it for me was when I was a kid, and of all things, I took my mom to go see Led Zeppelin's movie "Song Remains the Same."
Wow.
Midnight, that in Pasadena, California, Van Halen country,
Nice.
and it was like as soon as I saw Jimmy Page and his violin bow solo and Dazed and Confused, I knew right then there was something to this music thing, except I was so young, I couldn't figure it out. I was like, what's going on here? What's going on in my head? What's going on? So fast forward time a little bit, I went to Wolf and Russ Miller's Country Club in San Fernando Valley, California. And I went and saw a little band called Quiet Riot.
Nice. A little band, I'm sure at the time.
Not.
Yeah.
Uh, Randy Rhoads was standing about 2.5 feet in front of me. Right up on the stage, he looked like a god. He's standing there
Nice.
with long blonde hair and polka
Yeah.
dotted tuxedo, bow tie, and
Nice.
vest, and his white, gnarly Gibson Les Paul custom. And to me, that was just like a moment.
Yeah.
I was just like, okay, okay. I may be a young little guy, but okay, this just seems right to me. And
Yeah.
then shortly after that, it was my first experience with Motley Crue at the country club, and I always found myself gravitated to the guitar player's side of the stage. I don't know why. I just did. There's Mick Morris standing 2.5 feet above me, right in front of me, looking right at me, ripping
Man.
into live wire, and I'm like going, wow. I'm like, okay, I'm digging this. I'm really liking this. And it's making me feel good. And,
How
you
lucky to
know,
be there in California at that time.
oh, it's amazing.
Cowtown, and it's like, nobody's from here. I mean, the closest we got was um George Thorogood. He's like from like
Oh,
Elkton, Maryland area. But
hey,
that's our only claim to fame, really.
but that's a big one. That's a powerful one.
Definitely.
I've never seen him live. You have? Huh,
I I
cool.
haven't. No, I really
Oh, you
haven't
haven't?
seen anyone. I saw Dio before he passed. I saw like one of his last tours with Heaven and Hell, and that was like my first real concert
Oh,
experience.
man.
Outside of that, I've seen Trans-Siberian Orchestra because that was my first like taste of metal. Was hearing Christmas Eve Sarajevo as a kid, and I was like, "What is this? This is awesome!" So I went
Powerful.
and saw them finally when I was a teenager and was making some money. I was like, I'm gonna buy tickets to see Trans-Siberian Orchestra because they came to Baltimore every Christmas. Um, and then once in early prepubescent years, Three Doors Down came and played at the local
Um,
college. And, it was the biggest act we had ever had come through our town, like locally, like 20 minutes down the road to the college. And I was like, sure, let's go. Why not? People were mosh pitting. We were so deprived of that concert experience. Yes, people were crowd surfing and moshing at the Three Doors Down concert, but it was awesome.
that's cool. That is really neat. Um, what questions do you have for me?
Well, so you saw these concerts and you're like, I need to do that. So when
Mhm.
did you first pick up a guitar, and have you ever like been in a band or gigged or
Yes,
anything? Okay.
yes. Okay. Well, the first time I ever picked up a guitar, ironically enough, was a Fender Squire Strat.
Nice.
Okay.
Good
I
start.
learned my first three chords on a Fender Squire Strat, a black and white Fender Squire Strat.
Nice.
The amp I
Classic.
was using was way beyond my capabilities at the time. But I came across a 1975 Marshall JCM 800. Because why? Eddie Van Halen used Marshall, Randy Rhoads used Marshall, Mick Morris used Marshall, Jimmy Page, my all-time guitar idol, used Marshall. So why don't I?
Yeah.
That's all I knew. That is all I knew. I didn't know about girls. I didn't know about real life. I was about 13. I needed a diversion because my father died when I was 13.
Oh,
So I needed to have a diversion. A
Need
boy
an
at
outlet.
that age needs his dad. And I didn't have it. Music was my father, my role model, and everything that I come to become and love today. Um, yeah,
All right, so you got yourself a Squire Strat.
the
Did you
Squire.
get any formal lessons, or were you the kid who listened to the radio and just sat there and figured it out?
I was the kid who put the Squire Strat in my lap and just started going, okay, well, if I put this finger here, it makes this sound. Let's see, I saw Mick Mars do this, do some weird, what is that? I don't even know what that's called. What was he doing? So I just put my hand and I hit a bar C chord. And
Nice.
I'm like, "Nah," and I'm like, whoa, that was cool, man. I'm gonna keep moving. I'm gonna move my hand around now. It sounds great. It actually sounded terrible, but to an angry young, sad, depressed young kid, it sounded fantastic, right? It's
Yeah,
like wow. And I
awesome.
just moved my hand around, and all of a sudden, actual notes started coming out after about a month of that, right?
Nice.
My neighbors hated me. And typical,
God bless
uh,
the neighbors and the parents of young budding guitarists
it's all good though. So
and drummers.
I I bought a book. Yeah, drummers. That's pretty. I'll we'll get into that. We'll get into that in a few, um, if you would like. But I bought a book of all major chords and minor chords, and I sat there, and all of a sudden, here I have this Mel Bay book sitting in front of me, going, "What am I doing?" And I opened the book, and the very first minor chord I saw was an E minor chord.
Easy peasy.
E minor chord. And I'm like, to me, this was a holy manuscript of Gods of Gods. I was just like, I'm afraid to open it. And I opened it.
I'm decoding all of rock and roll.
Yeah, yeah. I was totally just like, I had the goosebumps, man. I had the bumps for
Nice.
sure. And I opened it, turned to page one, said black block letters, minor guitar chords. I'm like, whoa, okay. I'm like, keep going here. Do I really want to do this? And right there, E minor with a box with where to put your fingers on the second fret.
Nice.
So I put my index finger down on the A string. I put my middle finger down on the D string, lifted my finger in my pinky, and I go, keep in mind, I had a Marshall JCM 800 that had been modded by a gentleman by the name of John Cadesi, who's now the manager. Hey, John, that's the manager at the Schechter Custom Shop in Simi
Nice.
Valley, California. And I put the master volume on 2, right? And I put the gain. I didn't know what gain was yet. All I know is it was loud and my whole body shook. So I took the gain and I cranked it.
Um,
And I just turned on the volume. Woo! It's freaking out. And I just go, wow! Like a sonic boom, bam! And I was just like, did I just do that?
that came from me.
Was that me? Exactly. I said, was that me? Oh my
Nice.
gosh, man. Whoa. So I really just started just moving my right hand, remembering what I saw Mick Mars doing. and I just start moving my right hand and just holding that E minor chord, and then my index finger slipped off. That just left my middle finger on the D string, and all of a sudden, I discover it's a total accident. I stumble upon overtones.
Ah,
And I was just like, wow, dude, this is getting good, man. You know, and that's basically how I got my start.
nice.
My it's the only thing that I could count on.
Yeah.
Music was the only thing that I felt like I could count on. Um, I the only sense of peace that feel I feel today, that I felt, is music. It is guitars. Is music. See, you were going to ask me about my YouTube channel, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Would
So
you like me to
you got
continue
this
then?
channel started, clearly guitarist dreaming 352. Um,
Yeah.
you're very passionate about music from what I caught of you in Harmony and in your talk there. Like, this is a dream that you're fulfilling in some way where I assume you felt limited in how you could share your music. So
Yes.
what's the timeline between you just figured out the E minor chord and now you're starting a YouTube channel, and I assume you have a couple of years under your belt of playing now. So what happened in between there?
A lot of life. A
It
lot of
happens.
life. Everything from being down and out, making the wrong choices, ending up in spots in my life thinking, in my mind, I was convinced I was this rock god like Jimmy Page,
Mm,
and I was like, I learned real quick, not only I wasn't, but nobody is and nobody can be. Um, there's certainly equivalents, but not better than, at least as far as I could see. I had to live my life. I had to learn my lessons.
gotcha.
And I had to realize that number one, you get in this life what you put out. Number two, what comes around does indeed go around. I,
Karma.
I'm the first person to say that. That's serious stuff. And number three, and number three quickly turned into number one. Most importantly, knowing who I am deep inside my heart, my soul, and no matter who says what, no matter who tries to tell me, Will, you're too old, and you know, all this stuff, I say, look, I've learned to value and treasure life because I know what it's like not to have it. Yeah, my history with Motley Crue runs a lot deeper than seeing them at the country club. Okay, my history with Van Halen runs a lot deeper than me going to backyard parties when I was a kid, just hearing Eddie just wail with his three Marshall stacks. You know, um, I had to make some life choices. And my life choices I made took me out to the high desert in California. And I ended up living in a church. And I had to cleanse myself. I had to cleanse my heart, my spirit, because I was lost. And I had a revelation, all these years later. I had a revelation. And that revelation was number one, and this all falls in line with what I'm gonna play for you. I'm a big believer in things that I don't see. I'm a big believer in things that people say can't be done. Check this out. I And this is you were saying what happened the spaces in between the years from then to now.
Hmm.
I went back to school. I was told I couldn't do it. I was too old. I wouldn't be able to do it. I got my high school GED and I continued. I got 3 associate degrees at Barstow
Very
College
nice.
when I was living in the high desert. And on top of that, humanities, social science, and computer science. And on top of that, I left the high desert after being out there for 15 years, came back home to LA County, and went to school for my bachelor's in organizational management at the University of Laverne.
Very
I was
nice.
the oldest student there. All these young kids were looking at me like, who's this old person? I'm like, shut up. You don't know me. Don't start talking. And for a guy who nearly died and nearly ended his life as we know it, I have 4 college degrees.
That's
Thank you.
really respectable. I myself do not have a college degree. A lot of
That's all
people
right.
assume that of me, but I honestly had no idea what I wanted to do with my life. I still don't. And, I just
All
was like,
right.
fake it till I make it. So, I mean, it's been working out so far for me, but I really respect and admire someone who gets back to their education. That's really cool.
Well, thank you. No, you know what? I'll tell you what. I don't have much else going on in my life except what you see. And that and my job, my little part-time job that pays for all of this. I work a couple days a week. Um, I have my life here. I have my wife. I have my mom. My mom's living with me now. Um, so I think it's very important that I always remember where I come from,
Stay
and most
humble.
importantly, stay true to myself. Because I'll tell you, when this big rock concert that I'm living in is over with, and I'm hanging out in God's Tavern with Jimmy and Randy and Janice, Scott Weiland, gosh, there's going to be so many people waiting for me. I believe that. And, you know, I I want to know that I did the best I could. You want to know what my YouTube channel is all about? Music, promotion, promoting others, and inspiring people to be the best that they can be.
Very
That's it.
nice.
That's it. That's all Guitar Streaming 352 is all about. That's it.
I respect that.
Because
That's awesome.
thank you. Because I made a promise to my dad that I would do this. Gigging, I've been in bands. I would like to meet people, find a bass player and drummer, and start like a Rush type project. I want to go out. I want to start playing out again. Hence my gear, my pedals, and my Boss Katana, and I want to be able to. Hey, Todd Flowers, I want to be able to go out and gig again and take Guitar Streaming 352 out to the masses in the street. I want to be able to develop a one man show that I
Nice.
could take out to the street, have lights, fog machine, I mean, do it up, and take all the things that make me happy that I grew up on and incorporate it all into a one man show, you know. But in the meantime, I'm talking to Chicken Guitars, and I would like to know if Chicken Guitars has any aspirations to ever be the co-host for a talk show on YouTube and Facebook.
A co-host. That is definitely a commitment that I've considered because, there are times I'm sitting here and be like, it'd be cool to go live right now. As you know, I just got all of this kind of set up for today. Haven't really aspired to set up a rig for streaming. But the thing is, again, with the mom life, mom life, um, it's just so unpredictable that it's like I tell people when I commit to things like this, pencil me in and I will do my best to be there as if it's in
Uh,
permanent marker. But things happen, things come up. I've been invited to streams where last second I have to pull out, and I always feel terrible. But I'm either sick, my kid's sick, I have to go, take care of something for the business or around the house. So I just can't commit on a level where I feel bad if somebody's depending on me and I can't be consistent. And yeah, unfortunately, I just can't take an opportunity like that right now.
that's cool. No, I get it. Life calls, and you gotta answer it. You know,
Yeah.
it's hard. It's hard,
And
but
even with YouTube, even with my channel, it wasn't but a month or two ago where I put out a little message saying, hey, I'm taking a little break. Life is getting busy, and we're gonna have a new schedule. My kid just started school, and there's a lot of stuff I want to take care of before winter hits. Just maintenance around the house and stuff because I'm the stay-at-home mom tractor, so I take care of like all the major house projects too. Because my husband comes home on the weekends. He's not like, gee, I want to go paint a bedroom. He's like, no, I want to hang out with my family and have fun. So I take care of all that stuff during the week. My mom thinks I'm crazy. She's like, you were laying floor tiles? What were you doing? What? You installed a backsplash. So I get into some heavy projects around here. And, it's just, I like to keep things unpredictable at the same time.
that's
So,
cool.
but yeah, I even tell my subscribers ahead of time, like, things are busy. I might not be putting out as many videos because life. Like I said, I'm in the lost years that many people just walk away from it for a while until they're, towards that retirement age where they have the free time and they have extra money where they can get back into music. And right now I'm trying to do both. And luckily YouTube is that medium. So it's really cool to be able to have this when I can.
You know, awesome. I like I said, I support that. I support everything you're doing. Looking at all those guitars on the wall in back of you, I kind of reminds me of the very first time that I had more than one guitar. And getting, you were asking about bands and gigging, right?
Mhm.
Okay, I just want to make sure that I stay on track.
Because
Sometimes,
that's the world that I don't know. I've never been out there doing it. So I'm always interested in hearing other people's experiences.
sure. Well, the band I was in the late 80s and early 90s was called Soul Machine. And basically, the guys are great. The bass player was my ex brother in law, and I got him involved because he used to play rhythm guitar in a band in Long Beach, California by the name of Actress. And knowing this, I bought him a bass, and I bought him a bass amp at the time. And I got together with a singer that his name's Frank, and Frank is like really big into Parliament Funkadelic and Living Color, Fishbone, and here you got me, this dancing Metallica rocker, So it made the perfect clash, but the perfect, the synergy was perfect at the time. Um, and our drummer, Rocco, Rocco Poloni. Let me tell you something. I hope Rocco's in the chat room or watching from Facebook or something, but or will be. Rocco's a great drummer. And when Dream Theater was looking for drummers and they were holding auditions, I messaged Rocco after not talking to him for years. I messaged him. I said, dude, Dream Theater's looking for a drummer, man. Go audition. You'll get it. Because I believe he's that good. And he didn't. He didn't. He was involved with some other projects at the time. That was a good time in my life. Um, Going up, setting up, buying a keg, keg of beer for the backyard, setting up and pulling all my PA gear out in the driveway and everything else. Going from that to playing the Loch Ness Pub in Pasadena, California.
Very cool.
And then going from that and playing the Brave Bull in San Gabriel, who we so happened to be opening up for Bullet Boys. And we were playing in support of Z and Bullet Boys. Bullet Boys were great. And while we were doing our gig, I have my rack, had a 10 space rack full of gear. Then I had a spare Mess Boogie Dual rectifier head on top of one of my Marshall cabs behind me, but it wasn't hooked up. The rack went out no more about 3 minutes before showtime.
Oh,
I was looking at my tech. I was like, Pete, and he goes, it blew him away because he didn't know what to do. He tried, and I give him credit for that. I said, that's okay. That's okay. The lights went down. I grabbed my guitar cord, put it right into my Mess Boogie Dual rectifier head, turned it on. Frank was talking. Rocco goes into our first song. I flipped the standby off. I cranked the volume up, and I started going. Those little surprises that Army's laughing at me. Those little surprises. Those little surprises is what I learned is what gigging's all about. And you gotta be ready for the most unexpected thing to happen. The
always gotta have
funny
a
thing, yes, 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 absolutely. And the funniest gig I could say that we played as a band, Soul Machine, is when we opened up for Bank Tango. And that was a rocking gig. And it was shortly after the Brave Bull gig when life got involved and Soul Machine disbanded.
Aw,
That's
my
why I
sad.
wanted to get back in playing. I'm sorry. Um, I yeah, all I was going to say was, that's why I wanted to get back into playing live again
That's
because
awesome.
I miss that.
Yeah.
I miss that. But I'm a lot different guitar player now.
Yeah.
I've kind of rediscovered my roots.
What
You
would you say
know,
your roots are,
Jimmy
genre
Page,
wise? Yeah.
Jimmy Page, and the whole, the whole mysticism thing, the whole spiritual thing. So I happen to believe, and everybody in the chat room is just going to probably laugh at me, but that's cool. It's all good. I don't care. I do believe in ghosts. and I do believe in spirits, and I do believe in things that we cannot see. And it kind of translates into my playing, or not. It might not, but we'll find out together. What do you say?
I believe in it indefinitely in a muse. A something just comes over you and demands you that you have to write this song right now, like, or you're gonna lose it. So I've definitely been in that headspace where it's just like, something comes over me. I don't care if it's midnight. I don't care if it's 5 a.m. I don't care if I'm driving. I'll take out my little vocal recorder app on my phone and start
Yeah,
singing out, humming out a tune, or thinking out some lyrics out loud. And a lot of my songs, they come to me in pieces like that. It's not just to sit down and get it done thing. It's like just bits and pieces come to me, and I'm just waiting for all the parts to show up.
yeah, that's cool. Inspiration, it's a strange thing. It will hit you at the worst times, and it will hit you. You know, I I could be. My problem is when I get inspired. Sometimes I'm only half awake,
Yep.
and I kind of like grab onto the coffee table, and I'm like, whoa, this is cool,
Yeah.
and I'll take that into my day. Um,
There's a song I've only recently put together from start to finish, but there's a lot more that I still want to do with it. But it's called Midnight Muse, and the lyrics are very much about just being woken up in the middle of the night, and you got to do it. You got to write down this song. So I wrote a song about writing a song.
so, would you like to share it?
Sure, yeah, I've got my guitar next to me. I don't know if it's tuned or
Cool.
not because the battery died, but
It's all right.
days of don't know how that guitar is translating. When the moon is out and the world's asleep, I toss and turn with a rhythm, baby, deep inside of me. Can't rid my head of the melody. I'm feet tapping and knees slapping. The music's got the best of me. There's no rest. Sorry. No slumber for me till I let it out. No magic pill. I think I found my cure. A cold steel string sliding on my finger till I feel the beat no more. Then I'll play my song to the midnight sky. My hips swaying, a symphony playing. The groove is getting me so high. There's no rest, no slumber for me. 'Cause I'm holding on to melodies that I got free. I will lose my head, and I'm playing what will come to me when I cannot sleep. I don't wake in bed. Gotta let these words flow through my pen before inspiration dies. An obsession is my only friend when music's on my mind. I got the midnight muse. I got the midnight muse. I got the midnight muse. Then I go into like a little bridgy part from there. But
Very cool. Very cool. Thank you so much, Chuck. That is phenomenal.
thank you for letting me
Phenomenal. While you're singing, I you just have so much emotion, and you have so much in your soul and your heart, and it just comes pouring out. That's why I support everything you're doing musically, because I believe that you, in your heart and your soul, it's absolutely musically captivating to me,
Thank
and
you.
I think it's just amazing. And I'm really glad you're here.
Some of
I
the best best compliments and feedback I got. I think I was in the 7th grade, and that was a bad year for me. Just puberty happening and awkwardness and
gotcha.
schoolmates just not being the nicest people in the world and just not really feeling like I was fitting in with my peers. And we had a spring concert and I was in the choir and I had a solo. Well, not really a solo, is me and two other girls were going to go sing the first Noel. And I was going to do the harmony part that gets all high and crazy. And I remember the music teacher was so excited because he got a condenser mic and he could crowd us around it and it was going to pick us all up beautifully. And he was really excited about his sound setup. So we did our dress rehearsal during the day. So there was an assembly to put it on for all the school kids. And then that evening is when all the parents and stuff would come see it. So we get up there and let me tell you, we were the three most awkward and disliked girls in that school. And we get up there to sing this, and my friends' voices were very sweet. And, we're in 7th grade, so we've still got this very young choir voices. And then I go to sing the harmony part, and I just saw like everybody sort of perked up. And I was like, oh shit, they're actually responding to this. And after all was said and done, we got a really big roar of an applause. And walking down the hallway, and one of these kids who, he was a bully in my mind. He said something nasty to me once, and of course I hung on to that. He came up to me and he's like, "Kailyn, that was like I was falling asleep, and then you got up there and sang, and I was like, whoa, what the heck?" Like he was really impressed. He's like, "I didn't know you could do that." So that
Yeah.
was just like, ah, thank you. And then from there, people have always said, there's something about when you start singing, it's just the least expected thing, but then people just get transfixed. Like you just can't look away. And I've always had very somber and serious reactions to when I'm singing, even if it's a fun and silly song, people just get like they zone in and it's just a crazy feeling to have that effect on people.
Well, you know, you do have that effect on people. I hear it, and really, what I was thinking about doing, um, is that I would like to promote your channel and make a playlist on my channel for you. Are you okay with that?
That's awesome. Yeah, we all got to support each other.
I would love to do that for you. And um, would it, can we go say hi to everybody in the chat? This is going to be cool.
Sure. Yeah.
Let's scroll back up. We got a lot of people in the chat room right now. So we'll go up here. We will keep going. Can you can you see? Let's start with Harmony. We have my guest from yesterday, Harmony.
What's up,
Mosh pit.
Harmony?
I like to break something nowadays. Oh man, that's a good one. Oh, wait a minute. It's the cookie thief sent
What's
by
up,
Harmony.
Frozen?
Yeah.
Sat in and listened to
Hey.
Frozen Fury yesterday, and he's got some jams. He rocks out. I like his whole setup.
He's, wow. Butterfly. How I hear that Harmony. Butterfly and Ladybug Show. You know, I'll tell you, and I said this yesterday, and I'll say it again today. There's an audio file that I have that Nocturnal Butterfly was gracious enough to record for me that I'm going to start using in all of my video and live stream intros.
Oh, she's got the broadcasting voice. If you can get Sandra Lee to record something for you, go for it. That's awesome.
I, gosh, I appreciate her so much. I was listening to it today, and I was like going, Oh man, I can't believe this even happened for me. Oh, Bam. Good to see you, Bam. Real good to
Love
see you.
Bam.
Bam, bam, bam. Let's see. Hi, Dale.
Hey,
I'm
Dale.
saying hi to the Cookie Monster. Harmony. Hey, Fury. Hiya. Oh man, that was so much fun yesterday. Ah, there's DR Guitars saying, hey, hey, Frozen. Wow, that's funny. Bam, saying hi to Fury. Fury
Everybody's saying
saying,
hi to one another.
yeah, everybody's saying hi to one another. Butterfly Fury. Harmony's LOL's laughing at me. That's funny. There's Fury. Hey, everybody's saying hi to one another. That's really nice. I'm really glad to see that. He still kept playing like a pro. LOL. Did I miss something? I don't know. Maybe.
Bam, he's just referencing what he said before about seeing where was it? But yeah, he was just referencing his last comment.
DR Guitars. I'm going to leave off right
Hey.
there. I just want to say real quick the that everybody, if you like my content, and I mean, look at who my guest is. What's not to like? Please, please follow me on Instagram. Check me out on Twitter. Check me out on PayPal. And I'll talk about my PayPal in this second. There's a reason why I have that. It's not just because I want to be some fat cat or something. There's a reason for it.
Well,
There's
I
a
already
total.
know you had to have invested in the StreamYard's subscription to be able to do all these things, fancy things. You don't
Yeah,
have a duck here, so you are invested.
absolutely. Yeah, I mean,
And I
this is
see your T-shirt, Guitarist Streaming 352. So you've
yeah.
got merch. So seems
That
like
will.
you're putting some cash into this adventure here.
It's what I believe, you know.
Yeah.
And also, please, everybody, like us on Facebook. Like everything Chicken Guitars is doing on Facebook. Follow our links down in my social, down in my description box. Whoops. And also, I just newly reopened Iron Will Stars Guitar Instruction on Facebook.
Very
Please,
nice.
please, everybody, I'll be posting my first live stream October 3rd and my first lesson video. It's taken me a while because I want to turn this into a serious thing because this is what I love to do. And I I promise you it'll be worth the wait. I had a request to go back to the chat here that my very special guest today wanted to hear me play.
Yes.
Well,
Gonna happen.
here we
You'll
go.
see it here first.
Let
Hear it here.
me get Rosie strapped on here for a second. I should
So
have my wireless
yesterday,
in. What's that?
Yesterday, Will was telling the chat in his chat with Harmony that he's named this guitar Rosie after his niece.
Yes.
Very sentimental name. My Strat is named Rosalie
All right.
because she is rosy red, and I love the song Rosalie that Thin Lizzy covered from Bob Seger. So let's
Cool.
hear it. Let's hear you jam.
This is a little uh, you I'll be right back.
No
Whoops.
problem.
I
Technical difficulties.
so tell everybody about what there we go. If you would please, I dropped something and I have to pick it up because
No
it's
problem.
like, well, it's important
Yeah.
to what I'm doing or what I'm about to do right now. Uh, pray tell, chick, how what is your dream guitar? What's your dream pedal? What's your dream amp?
Let's see. My dream guitar was always just to own a Fender Strat. Now, I've got a love affair with Rosalie. Their first Strat, first real guitar. So there's a sentimental value to that, but if I, had a limitless budget, I would probably hmm, see, I don't even know if I would like it, but aesthetically, I really love the PRS semi-hollow charcoal cherry burst finish. I don't know what model I would want, but I love the semi-hollow. That guitar is just gorgeous. I don't know if I would like it. I've honestly never played one. I've never plugged it in, but it's so out of reach for me because it's like $4,000 or something like that, that I'm just like, oh, of course that's my dream guitar. But honestly, I am at home and feel best on my Strat that I'm comfortable sticking with Rosalie there through thick and thin. That's my girl. So I'd say she's my dream guitar, and if not, then if I could get my hands on Rory Gallagher's Strat, just to say that I could play Rory Gallagher's Strat, that would be amazing. Um, Dream amp, I am not a gearhead whatsoever. I did massive amounts of research before bought my Blues Cube because I knew like having a tube amp would just be really impossible for the home and basement life where I needed to be able to plug in headphones. I needed to be able to play at low volumes, and I wanted that tube sound though, and that's that Blues Cube, best solid state amp that can do a tube sound that I've ever come across in all the demos and stuff. I did a lot of research. So that's my dream amp, unless I could actually get up for a reason to like play a gig and feel the air being pushed. Then you guys tell me, what should I plug into, because I really know nothing about amps. And as far as pedals, my dream pedal is that treble boost pedal that I got from Hubcap John, who made the tattooed lady pedal. It is mimicking what Rory Gallagher played with the Dallas Rangemaster treble boost. That was his only his one trick pony. Is That's all he played into to modify his sound, and it's got that bite and makes that hot, crispy Strat sound just so much more. So that is my go-to pedal for sure. So yeah, I'm not sure what I would have stacked behind me ampage wise, but Strat and that pedal, I'm going for the Roy Gallagher tone. That's my sound that I want, my dream setup. Um, and as far as like, unreachable, untouchable guitars, I give Les Paul players a hard time because simply they're out of reach for me. I know I could get myself an Epiphone or, some sort of Gibson equivalent, but I've been told that doesn't count. So if I could, I would, just for the sake of saying I own a Gibson Les Paul, I would definitely go for the 2018 Smokehouse Burst Gibson Les Paul, because that thing is gorgeous. And just for the bragging rights of saying I own a Gibson Les Paul. I'm gonna take a look at the chat here. hello to everyone. I haven't been able to say hi to anyone yet. Lars Guitars, Dave R, Dale Palmer, Sonia. Hey girl, what is up? Bam. Todd Flowers, what's going on? Yeah, Will has some cool stories, right? That's what I was thankful for this opportunity to get to know Will too. Personalities and differences in direction. Yes, that will break up a band for sure. Let's see. Kaylin singing and playing would be perfect walking outside in moonlight. Oh, thanks, Sonia. That's awesome. Todd Flowers, she's been natural, been saying that since the first time I heard her sing. Todd, you're like my biggest fan. That's awesome, man. Thank you. Thanks, Lars. You rock too. I just sold my guitar. I'm not good enough. Frozen Fury. Shame on you. You are certainly talented. Dale Palmer says it's just a matter of time of dedicating. Oh, where'd it go? It jumped on me. To practice on a regular basis. I appreciate small accomplishments along the way. Exactly.
Am I still coming through? Can you hear my voice?
I can, but all of a sudden there's a lot of crackling on
Okay.
your mic.
I'm almost there. I found what I dropped, and in the process, I unplugged my camera.
Uh-oh.
Whoops. So I need to fix this real quick. I'll be right with you. Sorry.
Let's see.
Oh, okay. There we go.
Bam, you have an amazing guitar collection. You say you want a Gibson LP just for that very reason too, but trying to justify it with the guitars I have isn't so easy. Like it's one of those things you can have, the gear acquisition syndrome all day long. And it's fun to, keep up and look at new products and, drool over new finishes and just the aesthetics of a guitar. There's something so alluring about a guitar. But I quickly talk myself down from any more purchases because, I've got my SG, which is my humbucker. And, that's my claim to fame. My favorite female guitarist, Sam Fish, she signed it. So that's her guitar. It's like her signature in my mind of what her guitar should be. I know she's got her custom Delaney, but that's what I see when I see Samantha Fish. I've got my Strat, tried and true, loyal to her. I built a Telly. The only thing I would say I'm really missing from my collection, and I've got the Nighthawk, which has every tonal option you can think of: mini humbucker, single coil, and then a regular humbucker that you can split. You can split both humbuckers. Tonal beast. The only thing I would say I'm really missing is either that semi hollow, like an Epiphone Dot. I would love to get my hands on, or like I said, getting a Les Paul just for the bragging rights. But I don't need to be dropping that kind of coin when I'm not a gigging musician. It's just me down here in my basement. I've got all the tones I need. Anything else would just be in excess and for reasons of material and vanity reasons. Really, it's not a need. Nobody needs more than one guitar. Nobody needs it unless you are a professional in gigging and it is you need to go from acoustic to electric. I understand that, but now there's pedals that do that. But yeah, it would all just be for material reasons. Dale says I would like to get out to more shops and try several guitars to see if there's such thing as a dream guitar. Yeah, I think that's the tricky part is I don't really have a guitar center that's just, quick access out here. And I have to drive 2 hours either into Baltimore to Towson or out in Lancaster, PA, or the one I prefer to go to is the one in it's up in PA somewhere. But It's not a quick, it's not an easy trip. It's like an all day planned thing. And, they're not the most popular stores. They don't have everything in stock. The one I went up to recently in PA had like 3 Les Pauls on the wall. And of course, they were all the way at the tippy tippy top. They weren't customs or anything special. They were just a couple of standards. And, um, it just didn't make the trip worth it to me. And I would like to have that opportunity to walk into a store that has a little bit of everything, used, new, all the brands, all the styles, and just sit down and figure out. Like, I don't even know what neck shape do I like. I like my Strat. I can tell you that. I like my Strat scale versus the SG. But I really do think you need to sit down and play them and figure out what you do like. And unfortunately, guitar stores aren't really the environment that encourages you to just feel loose enough and comfortable enough to do those kind of things. So a lot of us, we just buy online, get it in the mail, and hope you like it. Luckily, return processes aren't all of that much of a pain, but it's a good way to figure out things and have them at home and get comfortable with them first. If I could get over to the UK and go into Peach Guitar Shop, it seems like every guitar unboxing and as they're putting up new stock, I'm just like, oh my God, I'd love to try that. Oh, that's so beautiful. I want that guitar. Like, that seems like my dream shop to go into. Um, yeah, that would be really cool. DR
I'm
Guitar
almost
says,
there.
chicken guitars, hush your mouth. Gibson LP doesn't really offer me something I can't get from my 594 or Special 22 semi-hollow. That's what it is. The Special 22 semi-hollow. There you go. Dream guitar. Both of these offer more options as well. That being said, they're not a Gibson LP. Exactly. We get these ideas in our head, don't we? Of like, I asked Guitar Hack, and he's famous for being a Gibson snob. And I said he recently demoed a Harley Benton, and it sounded good. It sounded really good. It was believable, and you can't beat the price. And I was like, so if I get a Harley Benton, am I officially an LP owner? He said, no, it's got to have Gibson on the headstock. I was like, damn. Damn. So, for validity within the community, you got to go brand or you're going to get beat up.
Uh,
Online window shopping is the best. Stop talking about cookies. I can't have cookies, damn it. YouTube is a good way to fuel gas, right? You see someone playing with the latest and greatest gadget, and you're like, ooh, I think I need that. I don't, but I think I need it. Everybody with their Helix now, too. I'm like, I know as an at-home player and just, chilling down here, it would probably be like a good thing to invest in. And I understand the initial cost versus, down the road of buying pedals and setting up a pedal board, but um I don't think I'll ever be a part of the Helix family. I'm just not. My playing and my music library does not require that many tonal options. And I'm the kind of person, like, if you give me a rubber band and a Q-tip, I will MacGyver something out of that. But if you give me unlimited options and tell me to make something out of it, I'm just like paralyzed. I get option paralysis big time. So the less I have and the more time I have with a few things, the better. If I have options overload, I'm just not getting anything done. Yeah, Bam, you have that advantage. You can browse Peach because you understand the prices and they can deliver to you. So, yeah. Good luck with that. I'm going to mute myself for a moment while I blow my nose. Let's see. Mute. Mute. Sorry about that. Do you have any boogers? I swear, I don't know how I still have this cold bothering me. Silent nose blowing. Yes. You can timestamp that in an hour and 10 minutes. Kaylin silently blows her nose. Dale Palmer says, I'm fortunate I can enjoy playing with the gear I have, so more gear is an unnecessary luxury to me. Yeah, it takes up room. It takes up, takes money from your wallet. And it's one thing to just like want to play with something and experiment with a certain sound or tone, but then you're stuck with it. So you've got to, give up some real estate wherever you have your music set up to accommodate whatever goodies you're buying. I can't either at Dave. I know my PRS, but they're all different too. And I have 4 different pattern neck carves. Maybe not as different as the wizard neck Ibanez and it's chunky. Sonia says she has 4 pedals, the Boss GT1, Behringer Fuzz, TC Polytune, and a Beat Buddy. Nice. Yeah, I think I really appreciate a minimalist pedal board. My pedal board seems extreme because I have that giant loop station on it. But really, the pedals, my go-to pedals are just the Tattooed Lady, and then I've got a Moore Richo delay pedal that I often use. I find myself not playing too much distorted. I like the dirty channel or the what do they call it? The crunch channel on my amp. And that's enough for me. I don't get really too distorted because I'm still learning and I want to be able to hear my mistakes. I don't want to just mask it under a bunch of effects. I think I need to be as honest as possible with myself when I'm playing so I can hear, you're getting a lot of sympathetic notes in there. You're letting strings ring out. You need to mute better. So Mozzie's guitars are beautiful. He's got quite the collection. And he's like me, he likes the color red. So try shopping Righteous Guitars in Georgia. Rhett Scholl does his videos and it looks awesome too. If I could get down south, like if I could get to Nashville, oh my God, I'd be in heaven down there. Just checking out all the vintage guitar stores and hearing the like true like blues bands playing down there. Oh, that would be amazing. Amazing. Sonia says, you're awesome with loops, chicken guitars. Thank you. Thanks. It's as soon as I understood what a loop pedal was and what it could do, I was like, I need that. Because again, like I said, my music journey has always been about accompanying myself and to be able to bring those ideas alive without having to, find a buddy who plays bass and find a buddy who plays drums and a buddy to do rhythm guitar. And especially in going, I need to get away from rhythm and I need to get away from just strumming. I want it to be more than that as a guitarist and to be able to just lay down a progression and improv over it and really test my skills of the fretboard and trying to, stumble down and figure my way out of how to get from open chords to down here. It's been a journey and I couldn't do it without a loop pedal, that's for sure. Dave has a nice collection too. Dave has an interesting taste in guitars. I don't think we always see eye to eye. That what was it you were showing last night? It started with an M. Looked like a melted Stratocaster, and I was just like, unfriend, unsub Dave. I don't like that. I don't like that guitar. Well, while Will's still getting set up, and I think I've caught up with the chat, I'll just play a ditty while we wait. So, any requests? Not that I know any songs. Here we go. This is a song very special to me. Female guitarist. She plays acoustically in New York. And I've been very inspired by her work, so I'll do this quick little cover of hers. Smelly cat, what are they feeding you? Smelly cat, it's not your fault. There you go. Phoebe Buffet, everyone. Smelly cat. If you don't watch Friends, you're probably totally lost. Each guitar gives you inspiration for a different type of writing. Yes. I notice a lot when I pick up my SG. The evil comes out. That's when I want to go to like drop C standard and just let it growl and get those like Swedish black metal tones out of it. When I play my Strat, it's just bluesy soul all the way, and my Hendrix comes out when I play my Strat. So, and then when I get my bass, I'm not real familiar with my bass, but that's when I get kind of into that like Tool mindset where it's just elaborate experimental bass lines. So you get something different every guitar you pick up. Smelly cat. Sandra loves it. I've only seen 4 episodes of Friends. Frozen Fury. Get on Netflix. You're missing out. Sonia loves my voice and playing. Oh, thank you, darling. Oh, I wish I had this direct plugged, but I assume plugging in there'd be a lot more like issues with the underwater gurgling compression. Hopefully the acoustic comes through a little better. Okay. Take your time, Will. No problem. You dropped your ebo. Set him free. I need to tune. Let me go grab my clip-on back there. And remind myself I need 9-volt batteries.
Can you hear me okay? Can anybody hear me? Can you hear me okay?
Yep, I can hear you.
Oh, okay, cool. Well, in typical rocker fashion, it looks like
Technical difficulties.
technical difficulties that can only be fixed by rebooting the whole system. So I'm not going to do that to you. You have been kind enough to hang out, and if you would like, I found my Ebo. I would like to still play if that's a consideration.
Sure. Go for it. We're all waiting.
I'm sorry, everybody. I don't know what happened except I was moving stuff around frantically and my webcam went beep, and that was it. So along the same lines as what my esteemed guests and I, Chicken Guitars, are talking about, inspiration came up. The topic of inspiration. And please, everybody, let me know if you can hear this okay.
Sounds good.
Can everybody hear that okay?
Yes, we hear you. We can hear you here. Yep, we can hear you well.
Do you hear me okay, Chuck?
I hear you good. Hear you just fine.
Cool. If it's too loud, let me know and I'll pull my expression pedal back.
Sure.
So the piece of music that I'm working on is basically I want to turn into a symphonic piece. And yeah, I'm way out there when it comes to songwriting and letting the spirit of inspiration guide my way. I Because that's when I know something very magical and something very special is going to happen. And I do not have a name for this piece yet, but who knows? Maybe I might have a name for it after this is over with. Let's see what the spirit of inspiration is calling to do.
Alrighty.
Let me put my strap on here so I don't drop Rosie, mess things up even worse than they already are. I thank everybody for coming today and I thank everybody for your patience.
You guys
Check
rock.
it out. or something like that.
Dude, that was awesome.
Thank you. Thank you.
Uh, Butterfly and Sonia and we were getting in a very zen space.
Cool.
That was awesome.
Well, I'm
Very
glad you enjoyed it. What happened?
It was very earthreal and just airy and yeah. That's the kind of stuff I like to listen to when I'm just like soaking in the bathtub with a candle lit.
Yeah, it's just that's what I'm all about now. And my playing, and ironically enough, that whole entire Ebo run, the key of E flat major, was all based off of these two chords.
Very,
Three
very.
chords.
Isn't it? It's just amazing how one chord can you just know the mood and the space of that
Yeah,
chord, and like it just takes you to that place immediately.
it's amazing. That it power of music. I'm telling you.
Butterfly and Ladybug show says she's relaxed as F right now.
Well,
Put us
this
all in a trance. I was waiting for the Cheshire Cat to appear.
He'd be fixing my webcam. No, I love my cats. But check this out.
I need to get away.
Okay, here we go.
Get those shapes. Just that's just like things that that's just kind of like the way I like to go about songwriting. I just find like I just go, okay, inspiration, what you got now? Yep. What you gonna make me play?
One chord. I'll go, hey. Now start kicking around. And lately, I've been really getting re-familiar with single note lines, single note, because I'm really finding myself gravitating to chordal overtones, and I've been finding myself doing stuff like this. And just basically playing an open string on top of one note.
Thanks for setting that up. Awesome. So graciously asked me to be a guest on his show. I asked him to do me first today, so we can get a taste of what he can do.
And that kind of stuff. That's the kind of stuff that I'm working out right now for music that I'm putting together.
Very nice. Well, that was a treat. I wonder if Butterfly and Ladybug is still awake. I think you put her right to sleep. She said she was relaxing.
I put her right to sleep. Oh, I'm that exciting, huh?
In a good way, in a good way to have
Not
that
all
effect.
good.
I've put myself to sleep just strumming nice, like open, like sus chords like that. I'm just like, ah.
Yeah, yeah. It's so relieving. It's so liberating, you know. Um, Listen, I feel really bad about this webcam issue. And what I'm thinking that it probably is the webcam needs to, uh, the stream or the browser needs to close. And then if I open it back up, so I mean, this is all stuff I'll work on today. So my question to you, my dear guest, is would you be willing to give this one more try?
Well, actually, I was gonna say this would be a good time for me to wrap up because I have to pick my daughter up from school. I usually leave here around
Absolutely.
3. So, um, we can always do this again.
Cool. No, I appreciate that. And I want to apologize for the technical difficulties. It's very unprofessional. And
Hey,
I,
this is like your second or third stream. These things happen.
so I need to figure out a better way to lay the cables and the wires for my webcam so that they don't get jerked around in case I drop anything like a guitar pick or
Spider's
a
nest
new
down
bow.
here, and I'm just webcam and my USB interface, but it's just like there's cords at my toes. I'm surprised I pulled this off without a hitch.
Wow. Well, you know what? You really know what you're doing because your end is great. And I just want to say thank you to everybody in the chat.
Thanks for having me. This is awesome. Cool getting to know you and your stories, and I'm sure we'll all get to know you more as the more often you go live and have some more guests on. So it's a cool experience. And I appreciate you inviting me.
And I thank you for that. And I thank you for your patience and for your tolerance. And for being my guest today, and I really hope that we'll do this again. And I would love to have you back. Um, your interest and your time permits, I would love to have you back.
No problem. Just ask and we'll make it work.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Special thank you to my very special guest, Chicken Guitars.
In the chat, thank you for hanging out.
Yeah, really. Thanks, everybody. Thanks for
We're always
hanging
looking for
out.
an excuse to hang out and talk guitars.
And yep. And in that note,